apply this viewport offset, or effectively add this viewport offset to the camera space position of the stylus pose. If you add that offset in at that point, the stylus will always match, the position of the stylus will always match correctly, whether or not you're running in full screen mode or windowed mode, or the window is somewhere else that not is around the center of the screen. By the way, the math actually works out correctly such that if you add this viewport offset, even if you're in full screen mode, it basically zeroes it out. So the offset ends up being 0, 0, 0. So it works out correctly in either case. So it's actually a pretty good idea to put in this viewport offset, whether or not you're running in full screen mode, if you have that option of swapping back and forth. Okay, a couple more quick ones, and then we'll get into some questions. A little bit of sample code that talks about direct interaction. In other words, how do I do things with the stylus rather than just have this matrix 4 lying around? So the first thing that you'll want to do is you want to figure out, okay, how do I pull out interesting information out of the stylus pose? How do I get things out of that matrix 4? And this is just a little bit of sample code that tells you one way to get information out of that. Let's say, for instance, we want to pull out the position and the 3 coordinate axes, X, Y, and Z, which represent the orientation of the stylus at any given point in time. So if we have our matrix 4 object here, which is the primary world pose, to get the position, you really call this one function, which is getTrans. And that will give you the 3-element vector, which represents the world position of the stylus at any point in time. To pull out the orientation as an XYZ axis, there's a couple steps involved. The easiest way to do it is if you pull out the